A delay in computer chips has caused a lack of new cars being ready for sale all across the country.
Reported again and again by the chip shortage.
The automaker has been dealing with that massive chip shortage.
It takes several years for a global shortage of semiconductors to be resolved completely.
You cannot say that I'm wrong when I say that chips are almost in everything, starting from the electronic devices that you use every day, that you can no longer seem to live without, such as your phone, laptop, and cars, to planes, medical devices, and even in powering the factories that make the electronic devices that we buy and have. Yes, chips are always there, so if it's not an exaggeration to say that semiconductor powers our modern world. Just think about how many people use and benefit from the devices that use this technology. Not to mention that semiconductors are also crucial in the military systems and powering the power grids that we have right now. It seems that we have been reliant on these for the past few decades, but what if we no longer have enough semiconductors? I suggest that you watch until the end of this video if you want to find out what caused the shortage of chips to happen and how it can affect our industry. You don't want to miss this video, so keep watching. A semiconductor is a solid whose electrical conductivity can be controlled over a wide range, either permanently or dynamically. These are tremendously important, not just technologically but also economically. They have been used in the electronics field since the 1900s, and around the turn of the 20th century, they were quite common as detectors in radios used in a device called a cat's whisker. On the other hand, a transistor is a kind of semiconductor that was first successfully demonstrated in 1947 at Bell Labs in New Jersey by William Shockley, John Barden, and Walter Bratton. These three inventors won a Nobel Prize for physics and basically laid the foundation for the modern digital world. After the transistor, the integrated circuit and the microprocessor came until we reached the super tiny chips that we have today. Nevertheless, we cannot deny that these inventions now play a very significant role in every industry. Corporations and consumers all over the world use these in millions of devices. And as electronic devices proliferate, companies that manufacture semiconductors continue to prosper. Moreover, these companies tend to be driven by the goal of producing smaller, cheaper, and faster semiconductors to facilitate more streamlined, powerful, and affordable technology products. They have been powering our lives, but the problem is, only a few of the fabrication plants in the world know how to produce and have the infrastructure to make them. As the industry entered 2020, high demand was expected in the mobile chip area because of the rollout of 5G devices. However, that path was turned on its head when COVID-19 became a global pandemic, driving millions, if not billions, of people to work from home, go to school from home, and basically do everything from home. As a result, people upgraded their computers, got themselves smart speakers, and played a lot of video games. Demand for chips powering laptops, gaming devices, and internet infrastructure skyrocketed, while chip demand for auto and industrial uses plummeted. When the factories that make basic computer components couldn't make them fast enough, already long customer waiting lists for those factories got even longer. Oh, so now you know why you're having a hard time finding a PS5. A chip shortage, also referred to as semiconductor shortage or chip famine, is a phenomenon in the integrated circuit industry when demand for silicon chips outstrips supply. Fabs or foundries are what the semiconductor industry calls the complex manufacturing plants where silicon wafers used in computer chips are fabricated down to billionths of a meter accuracy. When the chip shortages during COVID-19 first became evident, fabs worldwide were already running at capacity and had order backlogs that ran as much as several months. That's prompted many fabs to respond by committing to invest hundreds of billions of dollars into building new facilities. However, that is an expensive process but a lengthy one, seeing it takes an average of 2 years between breaking ground and producing the first wafers. With the pandemic taking place, chip stocks recently gained considerable momentum due to the global scarcity of semiconductors. Analysts predict that the shortage would last until the end of the year. As COVID-19 pushes the world more profoundly into the digital realm, the industry battles to keep up with demand. Silva Chen, a trade policy analyst, said that
the COVID-19 pandemic plays a significant role. The pandemic changed consumer behaviors.
As the COVID-19 reshaped supply and demand, chip companies are scrambling. Chips have become unavailable for automakers and consumers, generating problems across a wide range of businesses. Unless we have a major economic meltdown, which is obviously possible, one of the things that are happening right now is that almost anything you buy is going to have a chip in it. You can't buy a dumb product, said Maribel Lopez, principal analyst at Lopez Research. The pandemic indeed rattled the supply chains and had led to a surge in demand for electronics, and the global chip shortage came as sudden news to many investors and industries that rely on the tiny yet ubiquitous electronic products. Automobiles have become increasingly dependent on chips for everything from computer management of engines for better fuel economy to driver assistance features such as emergency braking. But yes, one of the challenges that our world is facing today is the massive global shortage. And as different industries use different types of chips, the automotive sector deals with this problem most, as it has its own specific needs. Chips for cars needs to be durable and long-lasting. That means many automotive industry chips are legacy chips, which serve as a problem for automakers. The chip shortage effectively crippling the auto industry illustrates the worst effects of the phenomenon, as crucial parts to produce finished cars and trucks are unavailable. This event is just getting worse that one of the world's automakers, General Motors, said that they could cut their earnings by $2 billion due to the shortage of the semiconductors, forcing them to shut down some of their auto manufacturing plants temporarily. At the end of March, Ford Motor Company also said that it was shutting down production at more plants because of a lack of auto chips, following production cuts of its F-150 pickup truck in February. On the other hand, chip makers were running into the shortages due to the production constraints and had begun prioritizing chips for different industries, often ones that are more profitable for them and less likely to have to cut back supplies in the event of a lockdown. What's overlooked, however, is how geopolitics is changing the chip sector. Since the US shut China out of several components in the trade war, Chinese companies like Huawei have had to look elsewhere and are being forced to become more independent. That might have come back to haunt the US as far as competition goes. With this, US President Joe Biden signed an executive order that is meant to address a global chip shortage impacting industries ranging from medical supplies to electric vehicles. The order includes a 100-day review of key products including semiconductors and advanced batteries used in electric vehicles, followed by a broader long-term review of 6 sectors of the economy. The long-term review will allow for policy recommendations to strengthen supply chains to quickly implement the suggestions.
Chips like the one I have here, these chips, these wafers, are batteries, broadband, it's all infrastructure. This is infrastructure. So look, we need to build the infrastructure of today, not repair the one of yesterday.
Despite discussion about the shortage, it feels like most people don't know what happened. And while our strained relationship with China certainly played a role, there was no more significant catalyst than COVID-19 coupled with wildly inaccurate forecasts tied to the unknowns of a sustained global pandemic. On a temporary basis, almost every business dependent on semiconductors is being adversely affected by the shortage. Excellent results for smartphone and PC makers could have been better if supply were available. The increase in demand for vehicles is also a positive sign of the recovery and stimulus at work. Still, lacking unit availability is likely to limit results for the next few quarters. In some cases, could impact jobs, which could come at a difficult moment in the global economic environment. Building new semiconductor manufacturing facilities takes a long time. However, semiconductor manufacturing facilities such as Intel and TSMC are now making their way in creating more capacity and brand new facilities. So, undoubtedly, the only real solution to this shortage might just be time. Well, that ends our video for now. Let us know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. We hope you enjoyed and learned something from this video. If you did, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel for more awesome and substantial videos like this one. Thanks for watching.